Good morning, Prof. Cheryl and friends. Today, my team will be presenting on the OBK study entitled Indra Nooyi uses the full range of leadership. My teammates are Jiawen, Charlotte, Pei Wen, Teo Liang, and Hyuk Yong, and I'm Nigel. For question 1, the case asks us to use table 16-2 to evaluate the extent to which Indra Nooyi displayed the characteristics associated with being a good leader and a good manager. Table 16-2 essentially shows us what being a leader and what being a manager means. Indra Nooyi showed that she is able to motivate, influence, and change behavior. An example of this was when she told Hutch Johnson that he was dressed like a bum, and she even told him where to shop, which resulted in him acquiring a whole new wardrobe when he moved to the head office. She is also able to inspire, set the tone, and articulate a vision. She created a new motto for Pepsi, which is performance with purpose. She is also charismatic. As it can be seen from the text, one of her most stunning talents is the art of suasion. She can rouse an audience and rally them around something as mind-numbing as a new company-wide software installation. She is also visionary. She reorganized PepsiCo to make it less fixated on the US and broadened the power structure by doubling her executive team to 29. She is also able to put people first and act for her followers. She started 2 initiatives. One, dinners for members of a team and their spouses. And the second initiative of ensuring that everybody's birthday is celebrated with a cake. Moving on to characteristics of a manager. She is conscientious, and she's well known for her love letters, wherein she uses her assortment of pens to mark up everything that crosses her desk. She is also responsible. Once, her so-called love letters scared some secretaries so badly, and she assured them that the bosses were not about to lose their jobs. These are some of the other characteristics that can be found in table 16-2. Now I'll pass the time over to my teammate to cover question 2. Thank you.
Move on to question 2, which wants us to describe the different positive and negative leadership traits and styles displayed by Ms. Nooyi, citing examples. There are many different models and theories of leadership traits. Firstly, for Stockgill and Mann's findings, Stockgill concluded that 5 traits tended to differentiate leaders from average followers. These are intelligence, dominance, self-confidence, level of energy and activity, and task-relevant knowledge. Judges' research revealed that extraversion was related to both leadership effectiveness and emergence. Judge concluded that personality is more important than intelligence when selecting leaders. James Kozes and Barry Posner attempted to identify key leadership traits by asking 20,000 people around the world. The top 4 traits included honesty, forward-looking, inspiring, and competent. Goleman's research on emotional intelligence shows a link between emotional intelligence and leadership effectiveness. Kellerman studied on traits possessed by bad leaders. The 7 key traits that she uncovered are incompetent, rigid, intemperate, careless, corrupt, insular, and evil. Moving on to leadership styles, the Ohio State studies derive 4 leadership styles in terms of consideration and initiating structure. High structure, high consideration is when leaders provide guidance for tasks. Low structure, low consideration is when leaders do not care about needs or tasks. The University of Michigan studies researchers identified 2 different styles of leadership. One was employee-centered, the other was job-centered. Effective leaders tend to have supportive or employee-centered relationships with employees, use the group rather than individual methods of supervision, and set high-performance goals. For Ms. Nooyi, she has many positive leadership traits. She demonstrates intelligence, knowledge, and problem-solving skills. This adds up to her task competency. She also possesses interpersonal competence. As quoted, one of Nooyi's most stunning talents is the art of suasion. She also emphasizes on celebrating everyone's birthday and that they stay forever youthful at 35, organizes family-oriented dinners, and connects with mothers. She is conscientious as shown by her style checks on everything on her desk. She has high self-efficacy, and her confidence has led her leading an organization to attain several goals. She is a highly ethical individual, as shown by her concerns for the environment and care for her employees. Ms. Nooyi has also said that if all you want is to get double-digit growth, then I'm the wrong person. Nooyi is clear about PepsiCo's aims and goals, such as balancing profits with the need for healthier snacks. In order to balance profits, she pushes her employees to find cheaper and inexpensive alternatives for palm oil. She does all of this alongside bringing her whole self to the office and keeping employee welfare high through celebration of birthdays, karaoke, and family dinners. She believes that the workforce should also be well taken care of, as shown by her motto, performance with purpose. Hence, her positive leadership style is high structure and high consideration. However, she has negative leadership traits too. She's overly demanding, setting unrealistic standards for her employees. As quoted, just as she was held to very high standards in her youth, she expects everyone around her to measure up. And she kept pushing and pushing. She's also insensitive, as she commented on an employee dressing like a...
Thank you, Jiawen. I will now discuss question 3, which is, to what extent does Indra display situational approaches towards leadership? Situational theories propose that the effectiveness of a particular style of leader behavior depends on the situation. I will discuss Fielder's contingency model and past goal theory in the following slides. There are only two types of leadership styles that are fixed: task-motivated leadership and relationship-motivated leadership. Each is effective in the following situations shown in our headers, namely high control situations, moderate control situations, and low control situations. Factors that affect situational favorableness are listed in rank order on this slide. They are leader-member relations, task structure, and position power. Therefore, leaders must learn to manipulate or influence this leadership situation in order to create a match between their leadership style and the amount of control within the situation at hand. As for House's past goal theory, it focuses on the idea that there are 8 leader behaviors, and leaders need to foster intrinsic motivation through empowerment. We can think of it as a variety of leader behaviors being applied differently based on the employee and situational characteristics. Past goal theory has 2 groups of contingency variables that influence the appropriateness of a leadership style, and their employee characteristics and environmental factors. Remember in the previous slide in Fielder's contingency model, we said that leaders have to change the situation. Here, you modify your leadership style in order to achieve your desired outcome. We feel that Indra displays situational approaches towards leadership to a large extent. Firstly, by using Fielder's contingency theory, we can see where Indra uses task-motivated leadership. She used it when she was reorganizing PepsiCo, which was a high-control situation, and when her team couldn't find an inexpensive alternative to palm oil for its products in Thailand, where she kept pushing and pushing until they came up with a solution. She also displayed relationship-motivated leadership to develop positive relationships with her colleagues, as can be seen from the quote. Her colleagues say that she brings her whole self to the office and insists that everybody's birthday is celebrated with a cake and everyone is forever 35. From House's past goal theory, we can see that Indra exhibits past goal clarifying behaviors by providing guidance on how employees can complete tasks by having red, green, and purple pens, and that she uses them liberally to mark everything that causes her death. She also has achievement-oriented behaviors and group-oriented decision-making behaviors, which can be seen from her challenging goals, emphasis on excellence and demonstration of confidence in employees' abilities to find a solution. She also poses problems rather than solutions to the work group. She also has interaction facilitation behaviors because she encourages close relationships among her employees by celebrating everyone's birthday and bringing a karaoke machine at each PepsiCo gathering, as well as throwing dinners for members of her team and their spouses. Lastly, Indra exhibits value-based behaviors, as we can see because she established a vision, performance with purpose, and displayed passion for it. She also communicated high performance expectations, which can be seen from Indra expecting everyone around her to measure up. I will now hand it to Pei Wen to continue with question 4.
Question 4. Which of the 4 types of transformational leadership behavior were displayed by Ms. Nooyi? To refresh your memory, transformational leadership is a leadership that transforms employees to pursue organizational goals over self-interest. Transformational leaders engage in 4 key sets of leader behavior. First, inspirational motivation. As mentioned in the case, Ms. Nooyi created a new motto, Performance with Purpose, which was used to lead and unite all employees. It establishes an attractive vision for the future and motivates employees to unleash their full potential. Second, idolize influence. In the case, just as Ms. Nooyi was held to very high standards in her youth, she expects everyone around her to measure up. She acts as a role model and believes that tasks that she's able to do should not be a problem for employees. In addition, she displays high ethical standards by balancing the profit motive with making healthier snacks and striving for a net zero impact on the environment. She sees the urgency and importance of caring for the society as well as the environment. Third, individualized consideration. Ms. Nooyi writes love letters to employees to point out their mistakes. This is a form of encouragement and coaching, as she does not want them to make the same mistakes. Adding on, she also throws dinners for members of her team and their spouse, as she understands the importance of family support. Lastly, intellectual stimulation. When the team couldn't find an inexpensive alternative to palm oil, she kept pushing for a solution. In the end, the team managed to come up with rice bran oil. She seeks innovative and creative solutions to organizational problems.
Thank you, Pei Wen. Now I'll move on to question 5. Yes, we would like to work for Indra Nooyi. There are 3 main reasons for this. Firstly, Nooyi is able to gain our respect. She knows exactly what she wants and she carries them out efficiently. As such, we can see ourselves working under her, achieving a tangible goal. Secondly, if we were to work under her, our welfare will be well taken care of. As the passage suggests, she provides welfare that other employers would not even think of providing, such as celebrating employees' birthdays. Lastly, Nooyi values family support and understands the need to involve her employees' family members. As my group places emphasis on maintaining family and work balance, Nooyi's leadership style will cater to our needs, minimizing work and family conflict. Having said so, Nooyi may not be our ideal boss. This is because it may be too stressful to work under her. She is very demanding and can set expectations that exceed one's ability to carry out the task. Now I'll pass on the time to Hyuk Yong.
Okay, now we have come to question 6, and it asks us, what did we learn about leadership from the case on Indra Nooyi? Okay, basically for this case on Indra Nooyi about leadership, our group has come up with 3 main takeaways. Firstly, we can learn from her that there is no one-way best fit traits model of a leader that will certainly ensure that he or she commands effective leadership. For instance, if you look at Indra Nooyi, she is insensitive when she pass off comments on the way how her employees dress by saying they dress like a bum. But even so, for such flaws, she still commands such a high-ranked position in a company like BCG, and this definitely gives recognition to how great a leader she is. So from this, we can tell that there's no fixed and concrete model for effective leadership. Moving to our second point, the perception of a good leader is very subjective. Not everyone agrees with Indra Nooyi's leadership ways and methods. This is because she has both good and bad traits. Because of this, some employees might feel that she's a good leader, some employees might feel that she's a bad leader. For her bad traits, she is insensitive and she's overly demanding. Very often in times, she asks so much from her employees without even considering the limitations to their capabilities. But however, she has a fair bit of good traits as well. she is very motivational, and she is very righteous, and she is very inspirational. And these are some key factors in commanding effective leadership. But because of these good and bad traits, some might feel that she is a good leader, whereas others feel that she might not be a good leader. So the perception varies considerably. Okay, coming to our last and final point, we know that leadership qualities are not innate and it can actually be cultivated. From the case example of Indra Nooyi, we can see that her effective leadership skills were nurtured and cultivated from her family background and upbringing. These were the external influences and forces that taught her how to become an effective leader and how to lead people. For instance, every night, her mother would present a world problem to her sister and her, and put them in the shoes of a president or prime minister. This is to simulate a situation whereby she is holding a leadership position, and this trains her how to think and act as a leader. And so, these are the three main takeaways we have learned from leadership on this case of Indra Nooyi, and we have come to the end of our presentation. We thank you for your time and attention.